Good morning. So this is vlog day 2, and you probably can't see me that well because it's simply 5:50 in the morning, and I am on my way to the gym. I don't know whether or not I'll be able to record any snippets of working out, simply because there's one other person that works out with me. I don't work out by myself. Like, I don't have him by myself anymore for now. Somebody infringed on my time, so I have to share my trainer. So I don't know if he'll be able to record because he has to focus and make sure that each one of us is doing the proper thing, and the other person is an older gentleman, older than me rather. And yeah, he needs to focus and make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. So I guess I will either show you snippets later, or I will catch you as I am headed into work. So I think the topic of this one will probably be what I do for work, since a lot of you primarily suggested that I describe what I actually do and my education background and everything like that. So if I don't get any gym snippets in, then that's what I will come back to do. I am extremely sleepy. I go to sleep on time, but one of the people I'm dating right now works second shift. Another one works third shift. So it's weird. I usually end up waking up to talk to one of them, which I did last night. Since his grandmother is in the hospital, so pray for him. That's it, you guys. I will be back shortly. Let me get to this gym. Yep, on my way inside of the gym now. So it is 6:30 something now, which the sun is almost about to come out. My session doesn't start until 7, so I usually take this time to do a little cardio. So I'm probably about to run on a treadmill for 30 minutes or so until it is time to meet my trainer. Workout complete, and now I am about to go shower and get ready for work. He offered to record, but I'll just bring my tripod next week and show y'all some stuff. So I will holler at y'all when I am done and dressed for work. I'm exhausted. Yeah, you can't really see nothing, but I am tired. Hey guys, so I am back. Let's see. Does that make a difference? I don't know. So I am now in the office, and I am going to tell you about what I do. And you can probably see the glare in my glasses, so let me close all of this. Oh, I could just turn the screen off for a minute. So I am a clinical research coordinator, which means that I oversee clinical research trials. Specifically, one that I'm on right now is a substance abuse trial here at the Veteran Affairs. A little bit about my education background, since a lot of people wanted to know that. I went to a regular high school. It was a college preparatory high school in Chicago, Illinois, called Lane Tech. So if you out there from Chicago and you went to Lane Tech, go Indians. But graduated from there, and I went to college and got my Bachelor of Science degree at Clark Atlanta University, class of '09. So that was mainly a microbiology based bachelor's. I originally started thinking that I wanted to be a doctor. More specifically, I thought I wanted to be an obstetrician, gynecology. I think that's the name of it, OBGYN. And then I did an internship at Duke University after my first year, and realized that medicine was not the route that I wanted to go at all. I did 5 rotations in their unit. So I think I did a MICU, a NICU, a OB-GYN, a neonatal, and one other one. I can't remember. This was almost 9 years ago, so I don't remember much. And I took a couple classes as well. And I realized that I didn't want to be a physician anymore. It didn't appeal to me. Actually, I was telling them to send me home because I felt like I was wasting space and time and money because I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. If anything, it made me lean more towards being a nurse, but I didn't choose to go in that field either. And I think what caused me not to want to be a doctor anymore, I think I saw a lot of treating symptoms and not really caring, you know, what caused those things to happen. And I was more on the why end rather than, you know, what's going on now. I cared more about why these things happen. So after I left Duke, that next semester, I did not go back to college for financial aid. I couldn't get it together in time, so I ended up enrolling back in spring of 07, I believe. So I went back to school and I talked to my advisor, and I was telling her, you know, that I wasn't interested in pre-med anymore, and all the questions I had and how I felt like I wanted to know how these things happened and why these things happened rather than trying to treat the symptoms once they already happened. And so when I was talking to her about that, she said that I should probably look more into research. And so that's what I did. And I think the first research project that I did, I worked on prostate cancer. And it was looking at hypoxic and normoxic condition, which is either an overabundance of oxygen or normal oxygen, and using that to see how you can treat and cure prostate cancer, which was fine. After that, I did an internship at Georgia State in Athens, and that's where I did some work with yeast that worked on Alzheimer's. It was an Alzheimer's gene that was also found in yeast, and that was okay too. It really didn't spark my interest. It wasn't until I think the end of my junior year in college, senior year especially, I came across this project working with trypanosomiasis, which is a parasite that causes human African sleeping sickness. And that's where my passion ended up being. I truly loved that project. It was so cool looking at parasites under the microscope, and I think mainly it was what caught my attention was that, you know, the things move. So you look under the microscope and you see little squiggly things moving around, and you had to keep them alive, so you had to change their media and all these cool things. And we were on the cutting edge for developing a vaccine for it. It doesn't happen too much here in the United States. Is more a disease that happens over in Africa. So it was really cool and interesting for me to do that, and I ended up doing that the majority of my senior year in college. I won a lot of awards with a lot of money presenting that research, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So then I graduated from there and I came on to grad school. I originally started in the PhD program, and I started in the neuroscience department, specifically under the drug abuse. Cocaine was the drug of choice that I was researching at the time, and I ended up leaving that program with my master's. Me and my mentor didn't get along, and I wasn't happy. I thought a PhD was what I wanted to do, and then I realized it wasn't, and then I stayed because a lot of people was like, oh, well, you should stay, and it was free, so I stayed as long as I could, and then didn't stay anymore. And so I left that program with a master's. So I have a master's in biomedical science, that's neuroscience field, with a concentration in cocaine relapse prevention. And so after I left that program, I did another master's that I have in clinical research, and So all during the time while I guess I was in the PhD program getting my first master's, I did a lot of extracurricular activities. I was the president of this organization called the Multicultural Graduate Student Association, and you guys have seen me do some things with them as well. So we did a lot of volunteer work at the orphanage, and one of the main things that I ended up helping create on the campus in general was this World's AIDS Day event. And if you follow me on social media, you will see me posted a lot about AIDS. I think that's truly where my heart lies. I'm very passionate about AIDS research and things like that. I don't have anybody close to me that I know of that has AIDS or HIV or anything like that. I just think it's a very, very interesting topic. So I like it, and it moves me, and that's what I tend to do on my spare time, is AIDS awareness type things. So I did that a lot while I was in the PhD program, and I talked to my mentor about it as well. And so she kind of agreed with me that maybe I needed to do something that involved me doing more face-to-face contact with people and, those type of things, more community-based things. So after I left that master's, I went into the second master's that I have, which is the master's in clinical research. And that one teaches me all about clinical research, and I did a thesis that was based on the HIV/AIDS population here in South Carolina. Well, mainly South Carolina, but some people that also come across the borders from Georgia and North Carolina. So it's more specifically the AIDS population that comes to the hospital that I was going to school at, which is also the hospital that I work at now. So I did that for a year, and then it took me about 8 months or so to find my first job, which I was a clinical research coordinator for that one as well. I was a program assistant was my official title. That one I worked with kids with autism, and I loved it. That was my first time working with kids at all, and my first time, really doing the clinical coordination work, and it was awesome. Like, I actually cried when it was time for me to leave that job. So now, like I said, I still work for the same company, which is the Medical University of South Carolina, but I work for the Veteran Affairs. So this is the Veteran Affairs building, which is why everything is so under lock and key here. It's crazy how many hoops I have to jump through just to do anything. It took me a month just to get email and computer access. It's crazy, but I love it. I just started. It's a very new project, so a lot of what I do at this point is getting paperwork together, recruiting people that can be in the study. So it'll be veterans that have substance abuse problems, whether it's alcohol, cocaine addiction, anything like that. And the study is basically comparing two types of treatment to see which one is able to keep them from relapsing. And one of them is 12-step, and the other one is a more mindful-based, meditation-based therapy. I don't know. If you guys have any other questions, I guess the clinical research coordinator position is more so body that kind of put together the source documents. So clinical research, I guess, in general, is what comes after basic bench research. So if somebody's in a lab and they come up with this experiment that they think works, clinical research is what actually tests it out on humans. So there's preclinical phase where there's like testing on animals or in vitro or in vivo, those type of things, and then we actually bring it to the human population. So then there are several stages that come along with clinical research. There are like 4 or 5 different stages where you can start with like healthy normal volunteers, just to see if it actually works, and a targeted audience and things like that and so forth. So like I said, what I do is pretty much create the documents for it. It takes a lot of organizational skills. You have to keep track of participants, where they are, call them to remind them about appointments, talk to physicians, do assessments on them. this position is actually a little more advanced than the one that I had previously. I actually do some kind of diagnosis to check out their mental health, make sure they're not suicidal, just those types of things. They do get paid for being in these types of studies, which I'm sure most of you guys know about drug studies. So the people that actually run those drug studies, that's what I am. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of rambling at this point. So if you guys have any more specific questions, let me know and I will try to answer them back in the comment section below. And that's it, you guys. Be blessed. Mwah.